It's time to steer the line.
Touchdown!
Sports betting, fantasy football, and the latest NFL news. Featuring Loud Esmond, Christian Giordani, Rocky Giordani, and Jeremy James. Bet on us to make you a better.
What?
Let's get ready to steer the line.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another segment of Steer the Line. I am Christian Giordani, and we have Mr. Loud Esmond here for our off day recording. We got Loud flexing.
Yes, it's the first night of the NFL season.
Yes, sir, it is.
NFL preseason.
Yes, sir. I know you got some bets you want to talk about, so let's just get right into it.
All right, so right off the top, tonight's game, you have the Jets -2, -130 on the money line. The Browns +2, +110 on the money line. I'm going with the Jets here. The reasoning is they've got the better backup quarterback play. They want to move Zach. What's his name? What's the kid's name for
Wilson.
BYU? Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
I'm going to call him Smith. Smith, Wilson, same thing. Anyway, so they're going to audition him all preseason long, hoping somebody gets a significant quarterback injury, and they're going to get some trade value for the kid, which currently he's worth a bag of used footballs. So they're going to hope that he shows up in some way. Look, I've done very well in the preseason in the past. A lot of handicappers won't bet the preseason at all because, well, who knows, right? Who knows who's playing, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I look at it this way. There are some coaches that care about winning preseason games, and there are some coaches that don't. Jim Harbaugh, no, wait, it's his brother, John Harbaugh, coach of the Ravens, has won about 90% of the preseason games he's participated in as a head coach. He's far and away the winningest preseason NFL coach. So if the Ravens are playing in a preseason game, I like the Ravens' chances. You can go look up NFL coaches' preseason records, and you're going to get a clue as to which coaches care about winning in the preseason, which coaches don't. Andy Reid is less than 50% in the preseason, even though he's arguably coached one of the best teams in the league for the past several years, and before that was no slouch with the Eagles. So clearly he could give a rat's ass about winning preseason games. The other clue is who's got the better backup quarterbacks. I like the Jets tonight because they're going to play Zach Wilson probably at full half. And he was a top draft pick, and he's still got some talent, and he's going to want to show people he can still play. And then there's the new regime factor. What do you think I mean by that, Christian?
New regime. I'm guessing, the rookies coming in, the undrafted guys, the free agents that need some work into the system.
Well, when I talk about new regime, a lot of that figures in, but I'm talking about like Denver Broncos with Sean Payton. You got a new guy, new regime has come in, new sheriff in town. We're doing things differently. Often those coaches and those organizations want to come out and win. Show people their season ticket holders it's not the same S show it's been for the past year, 2 years, 3 years, Raiders, 20 years. And they're going to encourage people because they're going to win some preseason games. And then the other is the loser factor. Teams that are going to lose most of their NFL regular season games are often going to be trying harder to win a few preseason games because they want to show people they're not complete POSs, that there's some hope there. So again, in order of importance in betting the preseason, does the coach show a tendency to want to win preseason games? Who's got the better backup quarterback play? Is there a new regime in town? And are they a franchise that has sucked for a considerable amount of time?
All right. There's a lot of factors you got to take in where you're taking these bets, guys. You said we got the
Jets tonight.
We have the Jets and we have the Browns. I am not big on preseason betting. I've never really have been, but there's one thing I usually do drill on preseason. Always, most of the time, take the under on these games because over 25% of preseason NFL games happen on errors. There's a misplay, there's a drop ball, there's a bad snap in these preseason games. It's where you get your jitters out. Same in the NBA Summer League and same in spring training for the MLB. You usually take the under because there's less scoring.
Yeah, there's often less scoring that can be expected. Of course, it can bite you in the other way when you have teams and receivers that quarterback and receiver haven't played a lot together. He thinks it's a back shoulder pass and throws it. Cornerback picks it off, goes pick six, and all of a sudden there's more scoring than you expected. But I generally agree with you. The under is probably the better play in most of these preseason games. All right, let's talk. Well, first of all, do you remember the drinking advice I gave you earlier today? This is important.
For those of you who don't know, today's my 21st birthday, so there's some context on it.
Some context to the random. By the way, so what were Loud Esmond's top drinking advice tips?
Stay away from the yellow tequila because most of the time it's food dye. Mm-hmm. This is the nice tequila. And sugar. Yeah. What else are we to stop? Don't drink until it's nighttime.
Don't drink. No drinks with more than 2 ingredients.
All right. No drinks.
So Mai Tais, zombies, Harvey Wallbangers, monkey farts, all those. I'm going to put 6 types of alcohol in it and shake out completely. No sweet alcohol. Fireball, Jägermeister, any cream-based, anything with any sweet to it, gone.
I got a million of Jaeger bombs waiting for me.
Oh, no, you'll be sick as a dog. Sugar combined with alcohol makes your hangover even worse. Right. You know why you get a hangover?
Never have.
Okay, well, if you ever do, the reason why is because your brain has literally shrunk from being dried out. That's why you get the headache. Now, the stomach and intestinal stuff is because you've just put a lot of lousy liquor through your body. But literally, that's why your brain hurts, is because you've shrunk it by drying it out. Sugar exacerbates that condition. Happy 21st. Christian, if I were you, if somebody wants to buy me a drink and it's my 21st birthday, I say, great. Give me that top shelf Woodford Reserve bourbon, please. And they'll get tired of trying to get you to drink shots when it costs them $20.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, it's your 21st birthday, so it's harder for them to say no. All right, Loud Esmond's drinking advice to Christian Giordani on his 21st birthday. Again, this game is going to start in just a few minutes. I mean, this is like Christmas and Easter, and for me, back to football. I mean, it is just it may be preseason, but they're recognizable NFL football players that are going to be on the field, and I'm very excited by that. How about you, Christian?
I'm excited, man. I've been waiting for the NFL season to start. For me, this has been one of the shorter NFL off seasons because, the NBA was a lot more interesting this year. The MLB was very active with the new rule changes. But, there's nothing.
Yeah, there was XFL. There was XFL, which wasn't bad. There was USFL, which was like meh.
Yeah,
but it was football.
I wasn't a big fan on either of them. But, there's nothing like waking up on a Sunday morning and knowing your team's playing.
Thank God for the New Orleans Saints. Just saying.
They have a great record of 7-9, 7-10.
PFF rankings. Pro Football Focus is out with their post-draft preseason rankings. I've got the top 5, the bottom 5, honorable mention, and the dumbest. So let's go through the top 5 first and see if you disagree with any of these, Christian.
All right, hit them.
Number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. Any argument to be made against that?
No, reigning champs, they did lose some key guys, but when you got Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid as the head coach, it's really hard to put those guys outside of number 1.
Yeah, I think this is a history play. This is a respect the Chiefs' recent records, respect the fact that to be the man, you got to beat the man. And nobody beat them last year, and so they're the Super Bowl champions. I am suspect of their offense based on who their number 1 receiver is supposed to be. Their receiver room is light.
Mm-hmm. The Chiefs receiving room is real light, The best guy they got right now is, I believe, Kadarius Toney, Marcus Valdez.
I'm sorry, who? What's his name?
Kadarius Toney.
Like I said, who's ever heard of him?
He was a big piece last season for their wins, but
meh. I mean, he ain't Tyreek Hill.
No.
He's not even Devontae Adams.
You're Patrick Mahomes. You don't need Tyreek Hill.
West. I mean, he is not a great receiver. At least he hasn't been a great. Was he Pro Bowl last year?
No, he wasn't Pro Bowl. I don't think there was a Chiefs receiver that was Pro Bowl.
Exactly. So, the fact that you don't have a guy that scares me, it makes me question their offense a little bit. Okay.
Hey, Kadarius Toney's a dog. Don't forget that, though. He's a dog.
Okay. He's a canine. Good to know. The Eagles are ranked as number 2. Do you have any quibble with that? Because I do.
I'm not going to say last season wasn't a real test for them because they did have an easy schedule. Do not get me wrong. But going to the Super Bowl and almost winning it, I don't have a problem. I think Jalen Hurts is a top 3 quarterback. They still have the best offensive line in football, one of the best defenses. But I think there's another team that should be at number 2 besides the Eagles.
All right, hang on. Before you say that, the Eagles had the second easiest schedule in the NFL last year.
Mm-hmm.
Their quarterback play from Jalen Hurts surprised a lot of people in terms of his downfield accuracy. The quarterback sneak play that they developed was devastating. So in short yardage situations, they just mauled people.
Yeah.
Now, the combination of they now have the second hardest schedule in the NFL. People are not going to be caught napping on Jalen Hurts' ability to throw the ball downfield. And the fact that teams are going to have developed a defense for that quarterback sneak play. And they're going to see it coming. Those are 3 things. The NFL is a copycat and a catch-up league. Okay, you got us last year with that. Ain't going to happen again. Now, they arguably got a little better through the draft.
Yeah, they got some key pieces where they were losing some guys. But, rookies are, I'm not going to say unreliable, but they're unpredictable. You don't know whether they're going to be good at the NFL level or not, whether they're a number 1 overall pick or, like Mr. Irrelevant last year.
Okay, so I'm going to now flip it back to you. You said you had another team you might put at number 2. Who is it?
It's going to be the San Francisco 49ers for me, man. That team is just stacked from top to bottom. Brock Purdy starts week 1. That is the most dangerous team in the NFL, in my opinion. Brock Purdy is probably the most underrated quarterback in football. A lot of people say he was just a flash in the pan last year, and I completely disagree. They got George Kittle, the arguable best tight end. They got Deebo Samuel, top 5, top 10 receiver. Brandon Ayuk is the best deep threat receiver.
Don't the 49ers have Christian McCaffrey?
They have the best running back in the league, Christian McCaffrey. The only problem is their reigning defensive player of the year is sitting out until he gets paid.
And he's going to get paid. By the way, according to the Athletic Fantasy Football, the number 1 overall pick overwhelmingly in fantasy football is Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, and I don't hate it. In the offense he has now, with the offensive line and the threats around him, he's going to get those yardage and those touchdowns.
He was the best position player besides quarterback the last 6 weeks of the NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculous, the number of points he put up. I like the 49ers better than the Eagles at number 2. I just think their coach has proven it. The Eagles did great last year. Well, Kyle Shanahan's done it year after year after year, and he's got all the pieces. Now, a team that I think might be better than the number 1 team in the AFC, I know Joe Burrow's got a calf strain, but the Bengals took the best offensive lineman from the Kansas City Chiefs, their left tackle, and added him to their team. And they arguably have the best receiving core of any team in the NFL. And I just love Joe Burrow. So
I do too, man. That's my MVP this year if he can get healthy before October. I just need him healthy before October. That's all I need. And, you give Joe Burrow, Orlando Brown, you give him the extra 10, the extra second and a half, 2 seconds. He's going to find Jamar Chase or Tyler Boyd or T. Higgins downfield. And, God, the numbers he's going to rank up this year, man, if he can stay healthy for the remainder of the year.
By the way, for fantasy football purposes, T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are both ranked like below 30 in receiver because Jamar Chase is on their team. Either one of them would be a bargain at that point. Okay, we're getting our first scoring attempt in the NFL this season. The Cleveland Browns are going for a field goal. It's 49 yards long, and it is no good.
Oh.
It hooked. Oh, Alan Bryan joins the broadcast. Say happy 21st birthday to Christian Giordani. The number 5 team on the PFF list is the Buffalo Bills, and I am very worried that they are overrated.
I don't think they're the best team in their own division.
I love Josh Allen, but there's this weirdness between him and the receiver. Their defense isn't that great. What did they add this season? Not a lot.
They lost.
I want them to be good, but I'm concerned.
Yeah, they took a lot of hits this last season. DeMar Hamlin last year was a big hit for them, and him coming back is going to be a good morale boost for the team. But they lost their running game this year. Von Miller isn't what he was what they thought he was going to be when they picked him up. I haven't seen much improvement they made to the receiver room or to their defense. It's going to be a tough road for the Buffalo Bills this year, and I would not be shocked if they didn't finish if they finished second in their division or even third.
All right. So, honorable mention, a team outside the top 10 that you think could belong in the top 10.
Oh, obviously, the Las Vegas Raiders. Nothing? All right. Team outside the top 10, the New York Jets, maybe. Yeah. That's
I'm going to go Miami Dolphins are ranked number 11 by Pro Football Focus. They could be a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, my only problem is
if Tua stays healthy, and Dalvin Cook is going to Miami. He is not going to the Jets. He was using the Jets for leverage with the Dolphins. He's not going to play for the Jets. He's from Miami. He's going to play for the Dolphins.
I think he's going to play
with him.
Money.
The Dolphins are going to pay him. I think the Dolphins are going to pay him. That's where he wants to be.
Right.
With that, Jalen Waddle, the Cheetah, they added strength at tight end. Tua's learned judo, so he won't land on his head anymore. If Tua Tagovailoa stays healthy, with that offense and that defense, they could beat anybody.
Yeah, people forget how dominant that team was the first 5-week stretch of the season. They beat who everyone thought was going to be the undefeated Bills in week 3. And despite it being a nail-biter, Tua came back into that game right after being hit with a potential concussion that was never confirmed, but a lot of people speculated that it was a concussion that a lot of people missed. But, yeah, I got 2 problems with the Dolphins. That's it. Tua Tagovailoa, if he can stay healthy, and Jalen Ramsey when he comes back, because it looks like he's not coming back till mid-December. And that was their biggest offseason.
Okay, the dumbest ranking that I see, Pro Football Focus has the Cleveland Browns ranked at number 9. Explain that to me.
I don't think I can because, even if Deshaun Watson goes back to, 2019, 2018 form Deshaun Watson when he was leading the league in passing yards, he doesn't have what he had in, Texas. Amari Cooper's, 33 years old? And he's not even in my top 15. I can't name anyone outside. They have a great defense, though, and adding Zadarius Smith makes it an even tougher defense. But, as good as you can stop the ball, you got to be able to score it, too.
Ranking the Browns above the Dolphins is absurd. It makes no sense to me. All right, let's go to the bottom 5. The number 32 ranked team by Pro Football Focus is the Arizona Cardinals. Any argument, Christian?
I don't have an argument, but I do have – this is my bold prediction for the season.
Oh, you're not going to give me this Kyler Murray bull out.
No. I think the Arizona Cardinals, without Kyler Murray, will not finish last in the NFC West. They will not finish last in that division.
Because the Rams are going to.
Or the Seahawks. We'll see.
No. The Seahawks are not.
Wait until January and we'll have this conversation again. But that's my bold prediction for the season with it. But yeah, I don't have any argument against it as well. I could see it going the other way very, very poorly.
The 31st ranked team, the Texans.
I don't hate it either because they got, despite getting Caleb Williams, I believe. And they have an okay defense. They let go of Brandon Cook, who's the only bright spot they had last year. They're going to be young and they're going to be developing, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough road for them up ahead.
Well, as Al Capone said in The Untouchables, you got nothing. Number 30. This one's going to hurt.
It's going to hurt.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Rams.
You know what? I got to disagree out of love. And out of logic, too. You still have a top 3 receiver. You still have the best defensive player in the league. Matthew Stafford, depending on how he is, it's going to be debatable. But, you got a rookie in Stetson Bennett.
By the way, his new name is Matthew Statue. Just throwing it out there.
That's a good one.
Number 29, the Colts.
Do not disagree. I think they should be even lower. Who they get? Anthony Richardson for their quarterback?
Will Jonathan Taylor play? Is Jonathan Taylor done playing for the Indianapolis Colts?
I think Jonathan Taylor is not done playing for the Indianapolis Colts. I think at least until his contract's up. The owner and him have had a lot of, public disputes. And it looks like how the disgruntled's going, he's going to ride out his contract on the bench.
And 28, the Carolina Panthers.
Don't disagree. I don't really like their pick this year for their quarterback. He's a little too small for the NFL. They got some good receiving room now. They let go of DJ Moore, but they got Miles Sanders for the running back. They build a young, good team, but it's going to take some time to develop, and it's not going to be this year.
All right, honorable mention for the 25th worst team in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus, the Las Vegas Raiders.
You know, man, the Raiders have a pretty
1 minute.
They have a pretty decent lineup. You know, Max Crosby's a great defender. Devontae Adams is top 2, top 3 in the league. You know, they let go of Derek Carr, which I know for you was a big hit. Jimmy G is going to be injured. The biggest question is quarterback, and I think it puts them in that mid-tier place where they're just going to be mediocre.
By the way, Pro Football Focus has the Saints as the 26th best team in the NFL, which wins my award for the dumbest projection by Pro Football Focus. There is such an anti-Derek Carr bias in the NFL. It just blows my mind. I have no idea where it comes from, but they're all obviously consumed by the devil. Luke Esmond here. Christian, enjoy your 21st birthday and enjoy football tonight, everybody. We'll be here all football season long.
All right, you guys have a good night. I'm Christian Giordani. That's Loud Esmond, and this has been Steer the Line. We'll see you guys tomorrow.